Uh, I was about to say another name. Carnell from Carnell Holley Pictures. Mark, I remember you being in an interview here,
Yes.
and I know that you are a Marvel fan. I've seen you appearance at MCU ATL experience, fan experience. Now, do you still feel the same way about Marvel with the infamous three that you mentioned?
The infamous three? You mean the rule of three?
Rule of three.
The rule of three. Yeah, it was not my belief. It's still happening. That's not a belief. That is what you can actually trace, and it's evident in their actual products. So for those that don't know, the rule of three, it's not my rule. The gentleman McDuffie that wrote with Milestone Comics, he actually, this is on film where he explained the rule of three. You can Google it. Um, he was saying any piece of media, entertainment, show, cartoon, you name it. The rule of three states basically if you have 17 white characters and no more than three black characters, that is acceptable as far as this is for everybody. If you have one more black character as a main character. I'm not talking about support. I'm not talking about background. I'm not talking about Samuel L. Jackson. He's not an Avenger. I'm talking about the main three characters on the team of Avengers. As soon as you get a fourth one on it, the actual entertainment industry says, oh, this must be for targeting black people. It doesn't make any sense because you can have 17 non-black characters, usually white, but if you got a Mexican or an Asian, that still doesn't count towards it. It's as long as they're not black, you can have 20, doesn't matter. As soon as you get a fourth, it's now the industry says, well, this must clearly be for black people. It's not my belief. How many Avengers are still Avengers that are black? Main cast, right? And that's still happening. So it's still working that way.
And
I would like it to stop if that's what you're asking.
and
but
and also, if I can just chime in really quick,
yeah,
it's like I've known a couple of celebrities who have also mentioned that
yeah,
Martin. I mean, I've known people who have said the same thing.
yeah.
It's become a standard, and if you look at Power Rangers, you look at there was never more than one black person on that show in a season.
And that's
You
called a
know,
token
that's
black
the
character.
token. That's the
If
token.
you only have one,
Or
that's a term for that too.
or
It's
the
called a
or the
token.
magical need, like the magical Negro always has to have that,
Hmm.
person. You look at a video game, one of my favorite video games right now. We were talking about it the other day, yesterday. There's only three black characters in that whole game, and there should be way more. And
Yeah,
it's only because that's what they picked. And I get it. I understand. That's the product you want to do, but you don't have. It doesn't always have to be that way, and it's
it's
never going to
important to
change.
note that he's talking about Marvel Rivals. So it's in context. It's not a different company.
It's,
Same company.
it's Marvel Rivals. There's three black characters in that whole entire game, and one of them is interchangeable. So it's almost like once again it's a thing. It's an industry. It's almost like an industry standard, and it won't change until you get creators who are sticking by their guns. And I'll tell you, me when I first started doing my book, all my characters were black. Just that's what I wanted. And then I was like, man, they're not gonna sell. Like I just like that's what I thought. I instantly put myself in that category.
Yeah.
And me and him were talking, and he was like, he sent me a YouTube video of all the main black characters in comics, and he's like, if you see them that color, and if this is how you see them, or however you depicted them when you created it, that's what you need to do. Who cares what the standard is? That's the point. If we don't start doing it, it won't change.
Right. And
So
just a preference, it's not true. The what the industry believes, oh, this must be targeted towards black people, as it's a bad thing, because that's why they don't put four. There's not four Avengers that are black. Like I said, you know, Samuel L. Jackson don't count. He's not on the front lines fighting Thanos, or the whole crew. He's in the background. I'm talking about. It's not true. Their belief in the industry is not true. Black Panther made $1 billion+, so clearly there could be more than three black people in a top tier movie with the budget. They just don't want to, or they are perpetuating that belief. It's not true. We can get Storm on there. We can get Bishop and the X-Men. We can get the whole crew show up, and it'll be fine. and the fans will respond, white, black alike. It doesn't matter. Color of the fans don't matter. The fans know the characters, but we accept it and say, well, at least we got in there. And I'm okay with Samuel L. Jackson being black. But why did you make him black?
Why didn't you just put
what's the purpose?
I love Samuel L. Jackson in it, but why didn't you just put Darwin in it? Or why didn't you
Anything.
just put, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't you just
Yeah.
put a character that's already, that no one is, I think it was Dave Chappelle when he first wrote his pilot for Fox. If I remember correct, I could be saying it wrong, but they wanted him to have a white character in the story, in the first pilot. And he was like, that's not what I want to do. You know, they didn't give him the show.
Yeah.
You know, and then we get half-baked. But it's a thing. It's like, it happens a lot. There's very few shows that get away with it. I even think in if I read a story, I don't know how true it is, but shows like Living Single and things like that, like they wanted to put, you know, they had a hard time getting those shows in because it was all black cast. So it's just, like I said, it's one of those things.
Yes.